Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets move on to the second round of the NBA playoffs. The best team with the game's very best player in his absolute prime, constantly dropping no-look dimes, knocked off LeBron 2 straight series, having Darvin Ham commit absolute basketball crimes. The media talking heads in disbelief teared to absolute shreds from mocking Joker, called him fatty, took Anthony Davis on the post, made him look like a laddie. LeBron constant complaints to the refs, too much chatty. Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, absolutely the Lakers' daddy. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. For so many years, LeBron being king of NBA basketball during the 2010s, especially so the king of the Eastern Conference, from getting cakewalks to the finals, terrorizing the Eastern Conference.
Come on, man! That's too easy!
Before falling to the better team, the 39-year-old absolutely got it coming. Sticking around the league for this long, given James's remarkable resume, total body of work, there's no denying he's one of a kind special athlete, to the likes we might never see again. Head and shoulders better than anybody else year 21, many of the James fandom had the Lakers winning the series. Lakers overall A+ credit for trying their best. The results and loss wasn't too bad of an absolute travesty like the inferior first round Phoenix Suns Kevin Durant. We all got used to seeing LeBron play throughout May and June, the months he's made his legacies felt, but after making his decision to come out west joining the Lakers in 2018, his tenure with Anthony Davis has been some of the strangest 5-year rides, from having the most superior team 2020 bubble, battled through injuries in his mid-30s only to prove he's human, recording the 7th seed, unprecedented territory, while his time in the East, outside of his first 2 seasons with Cleveland, every time James played in the East postseason, never finished below a 4 seed. Finally, his 18th year in the league, the unthinkable happened, posting an unprecedented 14-0 first round series record, only to get absolutely blown out by Devin Booker's Phoenix Suns. That series broke the Lakers franchise so bad, it was the beginning of the end of their true contending hopes for another title. From being the second favorites preseason 2022 led to the most embarrassing tenure in Lakers history, having Russell Westbrook memes every game, the worst backlash ever experienced by a player in the modern era, filled with more injuries. The 2022 team didn't even make the playoffs. Come 2023, the last Rob Pelinka miracle, magically traded Russ away, got Rui Hachimura for pennies on the dollar, somehow didn't want the composed smart Mike Conley, insisting on D'Angelo Russell, who played defense with absolutely no muscle, almost a decade in the league, still loading. This series, he busted though. From forgetting about his atrocity 2022 playoffs versus Memphis, got benched by Chris Finch, shot 21 of 72, non-factor in the 4th quarter, averaged 12 points for that series, checked out early mentally like he did game 3. Every time Russell gets backlash, proceeds to play some of his greatest basketball while in constant trade talks, only to fool the Lakers back to his breaking ways. 0 of 7, 0 points game 3, way too inconsistent and streaky. Just like he was a no-show the 2023 conference finals, different year, same story, no lessons learned, only seemed to respond when the backlash at its extremes, decided to play good again when the series basically over game 4, a 21 piece, followed up 2 of 10 shooting from 3, officially eliminated game 5, just okay for 14 points. From Golden State not wanting him, they became champs. Minnesota didn't want him. They finally, in the second round, first time in 20 years, has a chance to win it all. Plus D'Lo's awful body language, absolutely broken by Jamal Murray's game winners, avoided heavy slander if this was a sweep. From his massive ego, having the audacity to say Minnesota held him back, acts like he's the MVP of the league when his shot's falling, but fails to adjust, still being a liability on D. All the talks about him being immature from day one, many of those qualities still holds true. There's absolutely no coming back from his poor attitude, regarding himself as a third person after Game 5's loss, from failing to deliver on good teams with hopes of making a deep playoff run, who's impossible to predict on any given night. When it's bad, it becomes unbearable, and the Lakers franchise not trading him by the deadline officially learned the hard way, an $18.6 million player option or a pay cut. If he chooses to enter free agency, I predict he will opt in. From making all the way to the conference finals a season ago, too bad many forgot about the ugly play-in matchup with Minnesota. Both teams didn't want to win, only for Ant Edwards to play his worst ever game, one that Gobert suspended for punching his teammate, Jaden McDaniel out for stupidly breaking his hand. Had Minnesota hold on to win that game, the Lakers would have beaten OKC at home, only to have to play the eventual champs round 1 instead of the conference finals. After getting favorable matchups, the self-destructing Memphis Grizzlies without big man Steven Adams allow AD to torch Jarrett Jackson, and Davis destroying the smaller Golden State team, giving them no mercy, with Klay Thompson officially being washed Klay, making all the way to the conference finals. Some thought these Lakers had a shot against the better Nuggets. At least Denver didn't want to blow them out that badly. LA had no chance down the stretch, the Nuggets providing suffocating defense, championship level shot making, Jokic Murray pick and roll, or Joker draining every bailout J from impossible angles. James later had the audacity to take away the noise from the Nuggets franchise reaching its first finals, forcing his media darlings to talk about his potential retirement. More distractions. No one thought LeBron was seriously gonna retire. It wasn't until officially when Jokic led the Nuggets to his first title did he earn everybody's respect, still being called the weakest MVP by Gilbert agent 0 rings, too many complaining about the Nuggets as boring champions, lazy media talking heads holding on to opinions that were valid 4 or 5 years ago. Some even before Jokic winning his first title didn't even have him in the top 5 player discussion, to Bron fans saying their team would expose the Nuggets, then to later making excuses how they beat 2 8 seeds, a 4 seed, and a 7 seed en route to winning his first title last year. Called them having the easiest path. Fuck out of here with that BS agenda. Why complain when they earned the first seed fair and square? Jokic destroyed the front court of Cat and Gobert, proved to be better than KD and Book. After series tied 2-2, made DeAndre Ayton quit mid-game, easily far more superior to Jimmy Butler and Bam, to playing better than 2 of the best #1 picks of this century. Laker fans still holding on to agendas, saying the series was winnable, being competitive each of the last 2 playoffs, and how LA's supposed to figure out the Nuggets game plan after a fake comeback attempt last year of game 1, only to continue losing 11 straight to Jokic and 12 of his last 13. Anthony Davis exceeded expectations, deserves lots of credit for putting his body on the line, leaving every ounce of his fragile bones out there until his shoulder says nah, balled out, reminding us he belongs in the best big man conversation, looks like a top 3 player at times, scoring on Jokic constantly on the post. Even if the Lakers held on to game 2 or escaped in game 5, down 3-2 in the series, the longer this one went, the least durable Davis would have been. Got what he asked for in the preseason, saying he can't wait to play Denver again after a little diss from the champs.
It was just a lot of like the talking and all the Lakers that like, it was just so much of that going on. Like, all right, we get it, y'all won, but I think me and Bron had some conversations like we can't wait.
Proceeded to score 0 points second half of opening night, dominated for 3 quarters. Game 2 didn't command the ball in the 4th, took 1 shot, then got the Murray game winner drained to his face, almost injured himself, caught in the Nuggets celebration. Former teammate KCP, being a good sportsman, made sure he alright. While Jokic took over down the stretch, game 3, got the and 1, put in the extra sauce with a shot to the chin. AD in too much pain, his head likely spin, infuriated his team's front office with his quotes, taking an indirect shot at Darvin Ham. To be fair, the way the Lakers played the defending champs, they probably beat more than half the teams in the West playoffs, but the slow regular season start, being in the loaded West, resulted in a 2-7 matchup. The only other team Lakers would have truly lost to, besides Denver and Minnesota, many would have picked a healthy James and AD to win many of those series against the other West competition. On the bright side, most Laker fans feel much better about AD, proven to stay healthy throughout the year, but still gotta be careful with those minor pains. Dwight Howard, perhaps proven right again. Nobody enjoyed watching the postseason as much as the 38-year-old. His attitude and wildness, absolutely huge reasons why he isn't in the league. being a free agent, the last big to truly contain Jokic back in 2020 bubble, but since then, Howard's been a bench player, 20 minutes a night max. While Jokic by far the game's best, LA failed to address their big man situation. Davis did everything possible, deserves an A for effort, but to no avail. Christian Wood not available. Jackson Hayes, low IQ, gets bullied every time on the floor. Dwight continuously making his case why Lakers made a mistake letting him go after 2020. Seeing the Serbian cook purple and gold relentlessly, it definitely wouldn't have hurt if the Lakers gave all of Jackson Hayes' minutes to Dwight. Coach Darvin Ham, supposed to be fired after January 7, had the Lakers lose to the Clippers, but remained put, and now Shams leaking out all the reports presented by Clutch. With LeBron being in the twilight of his career, all the talks about Bronny being in the league, the speculations, how he will finish up his career up in the air, while the bubble title seemed like yesterday, but in fact, this is the first time a James-led team missed the finals for 4 straight seasons. His first trip in 2007, year 4, followed by 4 years later, all of 2011 to 2018. Then 2020, now we all know the West simply ain't that easy. James with the 2024 Lakers roster would have still likely made the finals pretty much all the years he came out the East, especially from 2014 to 18, from facing just one All-NBA first teamer out East during the 8-year finals run. Given how the Lakers fared with Denver, if you replace this Laker team with the Sixers playing in the East, they most likely get to the conference finals and give Boston a 6-game series. The types of shots prime LeBron was hitting against the Raptors, famously getting the nickname LeBronto, sweeping them in back-to-back series. Same goes with the bootlegged 60-win Hawks. Prime Jokic, giving an older but still elite superstar LeBron a taste of the other side of the spectrum, from offensive rebounds, easy putbacks, hitting Dirk-like fadeaways. From a conditioning, physical, and mental standpoint, the whole Nugget squad looked super bored every first half, needing just one excellent quarter to turn it up. From Jamal Murray struggling shooting the ball, the Denver Nuggets truly owns the Los Angeles Lakers. From beating them opening night, the day they unveiled the Kobe statue, also beat them on LeBron's 40K night. Another close contest. Lakers led under 4 minutes to go, only for the duo of Murray and Jokic to take over, winning by double figures, beating the same Lakers again to end their season, and likely Darvin Ham's roller coaster tenure, doing so with another game-winning shot. Doesn't get more devastating than that. The Denver Nuggets having absolute full ownership of the Lakers. From Jokic getting chosen last to 2023 All-Star game by Captain James, wasn't even picked. Jokic just walked right up to dominating the Lakers ever since, having James quote after Game 3, "It's just basketball." After the endless losses, Jokic quoted, "Winning is a lifestyle for his team," doing so at the expense of LeBron. From repeatedly toying with the East in his prime, this time around it's Jokic and the Nuggets not taking the Lakers seriously, and only started playing for real when down double digits, which they face every game of this series. Michael Malone absolutely talked the talk and walked the walk in the so-called one-sided rivalry. There ain't no rivalry between these two. Ever since the 2020 series loss, Denver went out trading the awful Gary Harris for the bigger, stronger Aaron Gordon, being from LA, becoming the biggest difference maker in the playoffs, torching his favorite team growing up, a huge factor in many of the Nuggets' wins over the Lakers, from getting into the dunker spot, 29 points Game 3, the clutch save, from hanging onto the ball before going out of bounds, leading to a Michael Porter bomb, plus the offensive rebound over LeBron in Game 4, kicked it out for Jamal Murray's 3. As for KCP, third best player for the 2020 Lakers Finals championship team, one of the key guys LA will forever regret trading, only to eliminate AD and Bron in back-to-back years. Michael Porter, second best player in the series, numbers of 23 and 8, playing the best basketball of his career. If there was one thing Laker fans had hoped before the series, pray MPJ's personal life surrounding his people had a negative effect on his performance, but clearly did not. A near 70% true shooting, the improvement on defense, playmaking, making jokes, doing podcasts the middle of the series. Without his excellence round 1, Denver easily be down 3-2 heading back to LA. MPJ could just be the piece that'll lead the Nuggets to a dynasty. But just like the Denver Nuggets from coming back down double digits each game, they also done it while down 3-1, beating the bubble Clippers. The Lakers now the team in LA, the victim standing in the way of Nikola Jokic, an all-time great, potentially creeping in top 10 discussions. Jamal Murray, an all-time playoff performer, the rising Porter Jr., ultimate glue guy Aaron Gordon, a perfect role 3-and-D KCP, Michael Malone, Calvin Booth, the 2023 and 2024 Denver Nuggets, the daddies of the LA Lakers.